Earlier this month, Lynette Diamond Hardaway of the Trump-loving duo Diamond and Silk passed away. On Saturday, Trump gave a speech at Diamond's funeral that reached new lows even for him. We'll start with this incredible clip first of Rochelle Silk Richardson gushing about Trump, only for him to insult her in front of the entire crowd right after. Let's take a look at this video.
He treated us just like Laura. He treated us just like the other children, Eric, Don Jr., Tiffany.
You know, the world has lost one of its brightest stars, real star, but I see that we have another star who is equal to, but she stepped up and she is different. I'm serious. I thought I knew them both. I didn't. I knew Diamond, but I didn't know Silk at all. I just learned about Silk. You're fantastic. You're going to carry on beyond anybody's wildest imagination.
Trump, of course, loves making fun of people, even at funerals. I'm someone who likes making fun of people, but I do draw the line at funerals. Trump, of course, has met Silk, knows her pretty well, met her multiple times, but nothing ever stops him from making people feel small, which is why he does it. Here's a photo of them on December 4th, 2015. Here's a photo of them on July 11th, 2019. Here's a photo of them on February 27th, 2020. Why did Trump diss Silk like that? Some are theorizing it might have something to do with the fact that Silk went on an anti-vaxx rant at the funeral. Take a look at this wacky clip.
Instead of asking if Americans are vaxxed or unvaxxed, the real question to ask is, are Americans being poisoned? In the wild, when they want to depopulate and sterilize a large group of animals, they usually inject one animal. And then that one animal infect the rest of the animals. So technically, and according to the science, it doesn't matter if you're vaxxed or not. As long as the gain of function allows one injected person to transfer and infect another person, and that person infect another person, eventually everyone will be affected in one way or the other.
If you're confused having seen that clip, you're not alone. I'm confused, my brain hurts, Cenk is confused. Everyone with a brain is watching that saying, what does that mean? You get vaccinated and then you can infect others, and then they infect others and they infect others. She's trying to sell us a cell phone plan. I don't know what she was talking about. It was very confusing to me. Cenk, what do you make of all of that?
Okay, so I want to come back to your theory because your theory is controversial.
Yep.
But first, on what she was saying there, it's obvious. When you get infected with a vaccine, the vaccine will spread to others, thereby keeping them healthier. A diabolical plan. Okay, no, I don't know. I think that she thinks the vaccine is the disease, but I'm not sure. So Ben's theory, though, which is more interesting, because here's the summary of Silk, dumbass. So not that interesting, okay? Ben's theory is she's sitting next to Donald Trump the whole funeral, okay? By the way, getting infected by his vaccine because he took the vaccine. And he touts the vaccine all the time because he thinks he's responsible for, he once said, saving hundreds of millions of lives. Okay. Anyway, so you think he took offense at that she's got this wacky vax thing, and that's why he dissed her by saying he doesn't know her? I have a different theory altogether. Well, it's very simple.
I want to hear your theory.
My theory is dementia. He doesn't remember Silk, even though he met her many times. No, I'm not joking. I think he only had 2 brain cells to rub together. Now one's left a reservation, so he's down to 1. Okay, and he doesn't remember that he knows Silk. The whole thing is Diamond and Silk. So that's my theory. Go ahead.
No, he knows. I think he must know, because he even said in the statement, he said, "I thought I knew both. I didn't know." I think it was just implied he didn't know her as well as all the compliments she was throwing his way. And then side note, the anti-vax stuff he's himself conflicted about. I think he's just trying to rib her and say, wow, I knew you were maybe the quieter, less effusive, less kissing my butt half of Diamond and Silk, and now that she's gone, you're the star. He was trying to elevate her status.
Yeah, but he didn't look like he was joking at all. Like sometimes he does look like he's joking, right? He just seemed like he was saying super matter-of-factly.
But he did say, I thought I knew both of you.
Yeah, but it turns out, I don't know, does he mean like?
I think he meant know her. Maybe he means biblically, who knows?
I don't know. Like if Silk then came back up and said, if you don't know me by now.
That was the most tone-deaf way to sing that song for sure. But here are some other funny Trump moments from the funeral that are worth taking a look at. Trump, of course, while eulogizing a friend, couldn't help but yet again whine about the 2020 election during the funeral speech.
How do we stop the cheating? How do we stop it where you get more votes but you still don't win? And the answer is the Republicans have to get tougher. The top people have to get tougher. And you have to really swamp them. There's a level at which even they can't produce. And so if you win big enough, you're going to get there. And then once we're there, we're going to straighten it all out and get it back to where it was.
Trump used to claim to want to get rid of the swamp. Now he's like, let's just swamp them. Let's put the swamp all over them. That's the way to do it. But even more absurd, Trump can't even do a semi-nice thing without complaining about it and at the same time trying to get credit for it. The funeral went longer than maybe he was told it was gonna go. You're already there for the whole time. You can't walk out during the funeral. But does he want to ever just get the classy points of just dealing with that and being kind for the people who passed? No, instead, during his eulogy, Trump said this.
I don't believe, they told me, I said, give me a little time, because I have a lot of people waiting for me back in a place called Palm Beach, Florida. They said, give me a little time. What do you think it'll take? Oh, about 15, 20 minutes, in and out. I said, well, it could take longer. This is a little longer than 15 minutes, right?
Yep. He has to get back to the urgent, important business of golfing with his friends in Palm Beach, Florida. So sorry.
He's complaining that the funeral's too long. This guy's unbelievable. Okay, look guys, imagine a similar situation. Let's say I go to a funeral and I hope that we never get this situation. But let's say, because I have to pick someone, right? So I'm sorry, Amy. I'm gonna pick Amy Goodman out of a hat, okay? We're at Amy Goodman's funeral and I have the honor of giving a speech and I get up. They told me this funeral was gonna be 15 minutes, but we're here 3 hours for this broad. It's insane, it's insane, right? And then he's like, then I go and start talking about my random stuff. Crowder thinks he's bigger than us, but I don't think so, okay? And I think between Crowder and Shapiro, Crowder's wrong and Shapiro's right. And I'll tell you something else about Tim. What are you doing? You're supposed to be concentrating on the person who's passed away, that you're there to celebrate their life. And he's like, okay, now let me tell you about me, okay? He's unreal, and Ben, I've never disagreed with you more. This guy's a lunatic. No, he doesn't know who Silk is. He's like, this chick I just met, it turns out they were together. Who knew?
Look,
who knew?
I would flip my opinion and agree with you, but I don't remember who you are. Where am I?
Okay, hey, Republicans still leading the polls. That's your leader, okay? By the way, he'd do the same thing at your funeral. He buried his ex-wife on a golf course for a tax break. No morals, none, zero. There is no bottom to that barrel.
At the bottom, buried her at the bottom of the windmill of the 18th hole of his miniature golf course. It's really hard to get the ball in
windmills that
one.
cause cancer because of the noise of the wind.
That's correct.
That's another theory of Donald Trump. Hey, Republican voters, you must be so proud. All right. And Edwin's right, by the way. He thought it was a rally. And by the way, that he got disappointed because they asked him and he said, make it the biggest place possible. And so they got a place for the funeral for Diamond and Silk, and they thought they were popular and stuff, and 2,400 people, because Trump's coming and it's gonna get packed. 150 people showed up. So he's disappointed with the crowd size at a funeral.
But also it was the biggest crowds ever.
The biggest crowds to ever.
It was the biggest crowds at her funeral ever.
Yeah, to come to a funeral to hear me talk about golf at Palm Beach. Biggest crowd ever.